AI will not just replace jobs, but it will redefine human purpose. For centuries, we have answered one question almost automatically: who are you? And the answer has usually been what we do. I'm a teacher. I'm an engineer. I run a business. Work has never simply been about income. It has been about identity. It has structured our days, shaped our ambitions, created social circles, and given us a place inside the wider system. But what happens when machines begin doing most of what we once called work? The real disruption of artificial intelligence may not be economic, it may be psychological. Today, we're not talking about lost income, we're talking about lost identity and what must replace it. Because for the first time in history, economic output may continue to grow, while human necessity begins to shrink. And that changes everything. For generations, employment has been the gateway into society. To have a job was to belong. It meant you were contributing. It meant you were needed. It meant your presence mattered. Now, artificial intelligence is compressing entire layers of work, not just repetitive manual tasks, but cognitive roles, legal drafting, software coding, data analysis, customer support, design assistance. Systems are becoming capable of performing tasks that once required years of human training. This is not science fiction, it's a structural transition. And as this transition accelerates, many are asking the obvious question: what happens to income? That is why discussions around universal basic income are gaining momentum. Financial stability matters. Income protects the body, but stability and significance are not the same thing. Income protects the body, purpose protects the spirit. A society can ensure survival and still struggle with meaning, because work has never just paid the bills. Work often paid for identity, it provided daily structure, it created social belonging, it offered recognition. Remove too many avenues for contribution, and something subtle begins to erode. Humans are not designed merely to be supported. We are designed to matter. And this is where the conversation must go deeper. If traditional employment becomes less central, then participation must expand. We are entering the early stages of what could become a participation economy, an economy where value is not measured solely by parole, but by contribution. Contribution may increasingly take new forms: community leadership, mentorship, creative collaboration, local coordination, shared problem solving, cooperative enterprise. These are not lesser forms of value, they are often the foundations of resilient societies. The question is not whether humans will remain capable, the question is whether our systems will continue to invite them in. Because there is a quiet risk in this transition. Security without participation can become disengagement. When individuals feel economically unnecessary, social cohesion weakens. When people perceive themselves as contributors, stability strengthens. Ownership changes behavior. When people feel stakeholding within a system, they think longer term. They engage more responsibly. They invest emotionally, not just financially. This is why participation-based economic models are beginning to emerge. Platforms such as poolfunding.io reflect a shift towards shared involvement rather than passive allowance. Tools like PMLcoin.app, often described as a poverty crusher, signal attempts to create upward movement instead of simply maintaining baseline support. These initiatives are early, they are evolving, but they reflect a directional shift from dependence to interdependence, from spectators to participants. Technology itself is not the enemy. design is. Artificial intelligence can either narrow human involvement or expand human freedom. The outcome depends on how we structure the systems surrounding it. If automation reduces the necessity of survival-driven labor, humanity may be granted something rare, the freedom to choose where meaning is found, but freedom without pathways can feel like drift. Participation does not happen automatically. It must be built. It must be invited. It must be structured. The future may not belong to those who hold jobs. It may belong to those who cultivate contribution. That is a profound shift. For over a century, dignity has tied to employment. In the decades ahead, dignity may increasingly be tied to involvement. Not simply earning, but engaging. Not simply receiving, but contributing. The strongest societies of the future will likely be those that refuse to confuse support with belonging. They will protect their citizens and invite them to matter. Artificial intelligence will continue to evolve. Automation will accelerate. Economic structures will adapt. But beneath all of this lies a deeper question. How do we ensure that as machines grow more capable, humans remain significant? The answer may not lie solely in income guarantees. It may lie in designing an economy where contribution becomes central organizing principle. Because human relevance was never meant to be measured solely by labor. In an intelligent civilization, it is measured by impact. And the future will not just test our technology, it will test our imagination. The road ahead is still being written, and those who learn to recognize its direction early are rarely unprepared. The future rarely announces itself loudly, but those who learn to recognize its direction are rarely unprepared. If these conversations help you see the road ahead more clearly, you may want to stay close to this channel.